Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd kind of go over the difference between Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. Mainly because I've been getting questions from family members, from friends, from people on the apps themselves on how I go about reselling or what I look for to resell and all that kind of stuff, which I'll probably do a separate video on that, like what I look for to sell and everything. But right now I'm just gonna kind of give you guys details about what the difference are between each apps. Now I think the first app I'm going to go over is Poshmark, mainly because I think it's the most popular, because everybody knows, not everybody, but like most people know what Poshmark is, so I'm going to start off with that one. Some pros to Poshmark is the bundling feature. The bundling feature, basically you can bundle items for a certain percentage off of what you're selling it for. I think that's a great feature because let's say I give a discount to somebody if I want to sell more items at once. That discount kind of further entices them to buy my items listed in my closet. I think another feature on Poshmark that I really like is the notification of like past items that I liked before. Let's say the person who's selling it drops the price by 15%, it'll notify me saying like, hey, this person dropped the price from like $2 to $3, like why don't you get first dibs on it, or something along those lines. And for the same as you, like if you drop your price, if you're selling something, it'll notify the likers who have liked it before, and you know, kind of tell them, hey, this person's offering you a discount for you know, $2 off shipping, and you know, etc. Another thing that I like about Poshmark is the flat rate shipping. The reason I like it is because you can sell a certain item, and that certain item will be like more than 2 to 3 more pounds, and the flat rate shipping is only $6.49. Now if you were to ship that on your own at your local USPS store, and I think anything above a pound is like $1 extra or something like that, and then it just kind of goes up as the pounds go up. So let's say you sold something for $3 and it ended up being like $10, you know, shipping it you yourself, rather than paying the $6.49 with Poshmark, because it's a flat rate shipping. So I do find that useful. It's also a con as well, and I'll get that later on in the video. So I really like that. Now another thing that I like is you can share people's closets. Now let's say I have my own closet, and in that closet, you know, I have followers, and then I also follow people as well. So if I see something I like in someone else's closet, I could share their closet to my followers. That way it can kind of, you know, help them have a quicker sale. So I think that feature on Poshmark is really cool. Another thing is packaging. Packaging on Poshmark tends to be a little bit neater, a little bit prettier when people send you items. So I really like that about Poshmark. And when they do ship it, you do have, I think, an additional 3 days to check the item to make sure it's what you ordered. If not, you could always return it back, and then it won't cost you anything. So I think that's also another great feature on Poshmark. Now getting to the cons, I think the major issue people have with Poshmark is that they do take 20% off of your earnings. So let's say you sold something for $80 on Poshmark, you'd only be making like $64. So that's an additional $16 you could have made for yourself. But you know, I guess they gotta make their own business. I think that's just like one of the major cons though, is that 20% off. So there's that. And where I'm getting to the shipping part as a con, the reason it's a con, because like let's say you sell something that's under a pound that would initially cost you like $3.50 if you sold it for yourself, but Poshmark kind of makes you pay that $6.49 to whoever's buying it. You can offer private discounts like on shipping to people who are buying it, but that comes out of your earnings as well. So it's kind of just like, I would rather pay the $3.50 than have them pay like the $6.49. So I think that's, looks like we got a visitor. Well, anyways, I think another flaw on Poshmark is the ratings on Poshmark. I know like some people like to see the reviews on people who have sold items just in case, like, you know, if I want to buy something from a certain seller and I can't see the reviews, I'm kind of like, do I really want to buy for them? Are they legit? Like, should I buy from them? So, you know, there's always that situation with you know, the ratings, and you can't see it on Poshmark. If you can, I don't know how, so if someone would show me, that'd be awesome. But I think that's just another flaw, is just you can't see their ratings. So another flaw on Poshmark is the picture sizing. The picture has to be like square. You know how like you post something on, let's say like you post something on Instagram and it has to be like a square shape? That's how it is on Poshmark. So you kind of have to crop your pictures, and if your picture isn't small enough, then it's gonna cut off some of like your item. So I think that's another flaw as well. I wish they would just show like give you an option to show the actual picture, you know, like a full-size picture. So there's that. Another flaw would be private messaging. Poshmark does not have private messaging. They have like private offers that you could do. So like if someone offered me like let's say I'm selling something for $40 and they want to offer, you know, send me an offer of $30. Now that would be private, but they don't have any private messaging. Like let's say like someone wants to know when you're gonna ship an item or something. They kind of just start to go in your comments, like on your items, and start asking you there, which is kind of inconvenient because then other people will see it, and then I just think it's like unprofessional to do that. But you know, like I said, Poshmark doesn't really have that option, so there's that. I think that's pretty much it on my pros and cons at Poshmark. Now we're gonna move on to Mercari. Now I don't really have any problems with Mercari, really. It's mostly good things. And I think I sell more items on Mercari than any other app that I use, so I have to believe that one's my favorite. So some pros about Mercari is they literally sell anything on Mercari. You can sell electronics, clothing, you can sell, you know, car seats, like literally anything. I think the one thing people don't sell is like big furniture, like let's say a crib or, you know, couches. You can't buy that. You know, unless you want to pay for the shipping, then go right ahead, but that's just a lot. So not many people sell those. They usually sell like collectible items and stuff like that. Now that's a pro. Another pro is you can offer free shipping on Mercari, and you know that'll be on your end to pay for shipping, but it doesn't come out from your earnings. You get the full earnings. And it's also only 10% that they take out from your earnings on Mercari, so I think that's a little bit better than 20% as to Poshmark. So I really like that. Also on Mercari you can see the ratings, so if someone leaves a bad review, you can read it to see what they did. Like let's say someone didn't send their items till like 7 days later, they didn't ship the item. You know, people will write that down in the reviews, and then you'll see the ratings as soon as you click on their page. So I think that's convenient because I myself like to know if I'm buying something online. I want to know if it's legit. You know, are they going to send it to me on time? Like, do their items really come in good condition? You know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's some things I look for, and I think the ratings on that is really well. So another thing is Mercari does offer some private shipping. Or private messaging. So, you know, you have that, you know, space to, you know, let people know when you're going to ship their items, you know, all that good stuff. So I really like that about Mercari. Mercari also, when you post something you want to sell, it does show the full picture. So I really like that about Mercari as well. And Mercari basically does everything that Poshmark does, kind of. They do that notification things if you liked an item. And they also do insured items to give you a certain amount of days to check your items before you know, send in confirmation that everything was good. So those are some things that I like about Mercari. Now, I think the only con about Mercari is people tend to be a little cheap on Mercari. So if you're selling like a vintage item or something and you're selling it for like $100, I don't think anybody's really gonna buy it unless they really know what you're selling. But most people will kind of offer you, they'll kind of lowball you. They'll be like, oh, would you sell it for 20? and you're listing it for 100. So they kind of lowball you, but you know, you could always just tell them politely, like, oh no thank you, just go on to the next one. But that's the only like complaint I would ever have about Mercari, is people tend to sell things a little bit cheaper, which is kind of a good and bad thing, because then you can find cheaper things on Mercari. So you know, it's a pro and a con, so there's that. The next app that I use is Depop. Now Depop, they do sell internationally, unlike Mercari and Poshmark. They don't. It's just domestic shipping. So that's one pro about Depop, is they sell internationally. Now international shipping is a little bit more expensive, so some people offer it, some people don't. So you know, you kind of just have to check on their page to see if they do or not. So I think that's a pro, to be honest, because then you could sell your things to like people from Europe or, you know, wherever they're from. But, you know, I don't mind it, because if I'm like not gonna pay for shipping, I usually make them pay for shipping, mainly because like it's international shipping, and like I said, it's expensive. So I don't know, to me, I don't really mind it. I also think on the quality of the pictures on Depop, they're so much better than Poshmark and Mercari. Like, people tend to take like, I don't know, like the picture quality on Depop is just really good, and you can like go into detail on like the texture of certain items and like all this other stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Along with Depop, just like Mercari, they do offer that free shipping option. You don't have to, you could ship with Depop. Depending on how big your item is, that's how much you charge for shipping. So I think that's good. Along with Depop, they do offer private messages as well. And one thing about Mercari I forgot to mention is that you can't comment under the picture. So if you wanted to like quickly comment on like a certain item, like, hey, what's the sizing on this, you had to private message them. You can't actually comment on the picture. And on Depop, you can comment and you can private message. So I think that's a con, or not a con, but a pro as well. Bless you. So I think that's cool. And I think the news feed on Depop is a little bit more kind of organized, because it's like an Instagram news feed, so you can just keep swiping to see if you like an item or not. And if you do, click twice if you like it. So it's kind of like you know, Instagram. The reviews on it as well, you can see the reviews, so I really like that about it. Now, as a con, I think I would say Depop is a little bit more expensive, mainly because they sell vintage items, so of course it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Most items aren't really less than $20, so if you're looking to sell something for some profit, I guess Depop would be the way. But like I said, Depop is expensive, so I don't really buy anything from there. I tend to just sell, but you know, I try to sell for as cheaply as I can, because I know people don't have a lot of money. I mean, I don't, so obviously I'm trying to look for some, you know, cheap things. But I guess it could be a pro and a con for how expensive it is. Now, I think the major issue I have with Depop is I have to do it through my PayPal, and my PayPal, I think, charges like an extra 5% of my earnings, so they take that away, and you know, that's coffee right there, you know, like that extra 5%. So you know, I don't know if it's that way for everybody, but that's how it is for me, and that's how I've experienced about selling things. So I guess that's another con. So yeah, those are the 3 apps that I use to resell most of my items. If you'd like to see a video on what I do resell for how much, I'd really like to show a video like that, because I don't think most people do, but you know, they probably do, I just don't see it on my newsfeed. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this video just to kind of inform you guys on, you know, the different features that apps use. And if you want to know more, just message me or comment in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you guys like this video, of course, like the video and subscribe to my channel for more. And yeah, just thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.